Howdy, howdy. On the sixth day of the 12 days of personal brand Christmas, I want you to know how important it is to continue to have your ongoing learning. Hey, everybody, I'm Jen Anderson. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe so that you continue to get all of these great little tips, not only for the 12 days of personal brand Christmas, but also year round, where you can get all of my awesome things that I'm sharing with you so you can go and be the ambassador of your personal brand. So let's talk about this whole concept of ongoing learning because over the years, I've talked to a number of people who've gone through college and they get the job and then they move up into leadership and whatnot. And they're like, then they're there. And so maybe they might do like an occasional leadership class or they might pick up a book or something like that. And which is great, which is totally fine, right? To do those kinds of things. However, what I noticed, which is really interesting, is that most people will do it because the company will say, we are enrolling you in this leadership class, or we need you to get this certification, or something like that, right? And it's directed from like the company, the manager telling them to go do it. And so, or maybe it's coming from HR, or maybe it's coming from the organizational development and learning team of the company, et cetera. All those things are great. That's totally fine. I don't have any problem with all of that stuff. And I think for any companies out there that are doing that, keep it up because you want to keep investing in your people. Here's something different though for you personally when you are looking at developing your own personal brand. And remember, your personal brand is a combination of who are you at work and who are you in your personal life, and all comes together to make this wonderful, beautiful whole. Okay. So here's the deal. For yourself, think about what are the things that you really want to learn and go do those things. Now, if you put on the lens of your personal brand, oh my gosh, I realize I just said that while I'm wearing ho 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 glasses, but work with me, okay? Anyhow, so if you think about your ongoing learning and you progressing and growing and developing and whatnot, but you think about it around what it is that you're trying to do with your own personal brand, it's going to shift a little bit on the things that you're going to look for. Not only that, when you do get a book that comes to you from, let's say, the executive team says, okay, we want all the leaders to read this book and we're going to talk about it. Then what you can do is definitely read the book. Think about, okay, how can I apply this at work? But I also want you to put on the lens, if you will, of your personal brand. And remember, if you don't know your personal brand, please come join me in the personal brand ambassador community. Let's get this thing nailed down, okay? You do not need to have that be messy in your life. And I tell you, once you know your personal brand, it's like this amazing foundation upon which you can build everything, okay? So like with this whole point right now of ongoing learning, if you're clear about your personal brand, you're clear about your foundation, then you start to think about learning and thinking about, okay, how do I attach my learning to my personal brand foundation, right? Just like you might build out a wall and frame it out and you would attach it to the foundation, okay? And so when you're thinking about a book, again, let's say it's a book that comes from executives and we want all the leaders to read this. Great, yay, that's awesome. But I want you to put on the lens and say, okay, if I'm reading this book, yes, I'm going to apply it at my work. But what does it mean to me? How can I leverage this information to help me to really to continue to establish and to reinforce what my personal brand is, right? My foundation, and how can I attach it to my foundation? So when you get the book and you're reading it, look for things that are going to associate with your personal brand. Don't freak out on me, okay? I'm going to suggest something that might be super scandalous in your world. Write in the book. Did she just say that? Write in the book? Yes, I just said that. Okay. Seriously, write in the margins, highlight things, grab post-it notes, stick it on there if you're unwilling to write in the book, okay? And just like be like highlight like core thing, be like this right here helps to reinforce how I want to live my personal brand, okay? Or this concept right here definitely helps reinforce. And then that's when you can really start leveraging the information from that ongoing learning that you're doing. Or if you take a class, right? It could be an online class and maybe you're taking notes. The same thing, think about it from the lens of your personal brand and think, okay, what can I learn from this that's going to help me to continue to leverage or continue to leverage information and leverage my personal brand as I'm moving forward, okay? So that's my tip for you today on the sixth day of the 12 days of a personal brand Christmas. Ongoing learning is awesome and it's magical, but it gets really fabulous and like top shelf, amazing experience when you tie it to your personal brand. You want to know why? Here's one little reason why. Because your heart and your soul is going to resonate more with that information that you just read. And it's not going to be like, some executive wants me to read this book. Dumb, right? Instead, you're going to look at it from the lens of your personal brand. It's going to help you to absorb the concepts and information in a totally different light. All right, my friends, keep going, keep living your brand. Thank you for joining me for the 12 days of personal brand Christmas. And my freebie for you with this time is I've got a list of my top 10 favorite books I love to recommend. So you'll see it'll be a worksheet with the names of the different books, but then also there's a little area on there where you can make notes for yourself about, like, as I read this book, how does it tie to my personal brand? Or how does my personal brand continue to grow and to develop because of what I read in these different books? So I hope you enjoy that worksheet to help you in your ongoing learning efforts. All right, my friends, go live your brand, and I will see you next time in the 12 days Personal Brand Christmas. Thanks.